Hello and welcome back to the YouTube studio here at the Berlin Global Dialogue. I'm Jack Kelly from TLDR News, and I'm joined by Jonathan Black from the Blavatnik School of Government at Oxford University, who is also the Prime Minister's representative for AI safety.
Jack, it's great to be here. Thank you for having me on.
Thank you so much. I wanted to start a reference, obviously, your role within government working with the Prime Minister, and more specifically, the UK is organising an AI summit at the moment. What in your mind is the best case outcome from the summit? What should be aimed for during that time?
Well, I think there are huge opportunities from AI to transform our societies and everything through from healthcare through to education through to all sorts of the way in which we lead our lives. And I think when you look at when you ask people what they think, they see that opportunity as well. But they're also saying, how do we also make sure it's safe? Yeah. And that's really what this summit is about saying, let's work together with the companies, with other countries, with civil society to make AI safe so that we can realise all of those benefits that we're seeing. One of the things, though, about AI is that in many other areas, whether it's climate or health, these big global issues, we sort of know what the right answer is. The challenge is sometimes trying to get to it.
Yes.
Whereas on AI, actually, we still don't yet know what the right answer is, although there's a lot of goodwill about trying to find it. And so the idea with the summit is to have a conversation across countries, across companies, across civil society, to work out actually what does the right way of approaching this question at a global level look like.
And the UK has actually established itself as a bit of a leader and a kind of front runner in this space, looking at AI. Why do you think it is that some other countries aren't taking the issue quite as seriously? What can be done at an international level to prevent some kind of race to the bottom when it comes to AI?
So I think actually everyone is taking it seriously, actually. And I think if you watch the debate, you see leaders, political leaders, but also others talk about that balance between opportunity and risk. You're seeing a really important debate about the sort of social and economic change that will go with AI. You're seeing people talk about the risk around misinformation, around disinformation. Yeah. One of the things we're focusing on the summit in particular, and maybe this is what you meant by where the UK's been focused, is what we're calling our risks around sort of frontier AI. Some of the most advanced, very fast-moving capabilities around the misuse of that by non-state actors, around the sort of unknown potential of that, particularly in areas like cybersecurity, around biosecurity, and that's what we're really trying to focus on in this summit. But I think actually everyone is looking at the different parts of the risk that AI could face and trying to get that balance right.
It's encouraging to hear. We hear a lot about the regulation of AI and how governments should react and respond to it. And there's all kinds of different ideas as to how that could be done, whether that's limiting compute power, denying AI access to certain types of information, or just straight up banning it in certain areas or spaces. What do you think the best levers that government has in kind of regulating AI and managing it? And conversely, what do you think the most overhyped ways of doing it are?
So in terms of the summit, we're actually trying to be a bit more what we're calling upstream. So looking a bit before the question of what might you do in terms of the rules and the regulations you set. And there's a very sort of active global debate on that. You know, the Chinese have got their own approach, the Americans are doing theirs. There's a very active debate in Europe at the minute about their act, and we in the UK have published our AI white paper. What we're trying to do with the summit is actually say at an international level, and this is where I think there is scope for real consensus, to say we need to understand what the risks are. Yes. We need to know what they look like, and also with frontier AI, where it's always changing so quickly, keep on top of what they look like. And that's what we're trying to focus on. There's then, of course, a debate to be had about what does the regulation, etc., look like on that, and that will inevitably, I think, be different between different jurisdictions.
Finally, historically, governments haven't been all that great at handling big existential risks like AI, maybe because there isn't the kind of incentive to, from an electoral perspective or whatever else. Why do you think it is that AI is being treated differently here and being taken more seriously?
So in one sense, I'm not sure that it is, in a sense of that it is. You know, we have other very big global challenges, which we're focusing on, and also, you know, there's already been a lot of technological change over the last 2 decades, but also, of course, over the last 200 years. Yeah. I mean, AI, I think, is a bit different in the sense of the pace is so fast, and the potential of where it may go is different. But also, I think it's back to the point that I was saying, is that we don't yet have, and I don't think we should be critical of ourselves on this, we don't yet have a sense, I think, of what's the right sort of answer at the global level to these things. There needs to be a debate on that. But the window is quite short. If the technology is moving as quickly as we know it is, we have a window now to have that debate, and which can hopefully help orientate what we do in our own countries or together down the road.
Absolutely. Encouraging to hear that it's being thought about, because, as you say, incredibly important and a lot of opportunity there too. Thank you so much for your time.
Jack, thanks very much for your time.